Oh yeah, it went by fast. It's a long weekend, but it went by pretty fast when it's all said and done.
What was your favorite part of it?
Being with the fellas, man, to me, that's always the best part of the weekend. Is just getting a chance to catch up with them and um, sit around and converse. And particularly guys from the Eastern Conference don't get a chance to do that too often. So.
Is there a certain amount of eagerness to get back on the floor to get the three-game losing streak out of the out of your mouth, a bad taste?
Well, yeah, I mean, the eagerness is just to get the ball rolling. We got a challenge here ahead of ourselves, and we're anxious to kind of get started and see where we end up.
So we were talking about yesterday, you and Pal, and kind of just talking about looking ahead of the upcoming games. What's kind of been the points of emphasis regarding that?
No, just the excitement of it, and the excitement of kind of building up towards the postseason and getting better each game, and we're ready to go.
Kobe, how concerned are you with the way that you guys are playing going into the break, not coming out of it?
I'm concerned, but it's no different than last season or the season before that. I mean, there's always concern. I think San Antonio, if you look at them, I'm sure they still have the same level of concern as we do. Just as things are rolling, things can fall apart. It's just things seem, to be in dire straits. You wind up picking up and having a great end to the season. So everybody's concerned at this point.
What do you guys need to do tactically the most over the last 20, 25 games of the regular season?
Just sharpen up, just minimize mistakes. That's the most important part, defensively and offensively. Try to limit our turnovers, obviously. Defensively, hold teams down, and I think we'll be in a good place.
And having Matt back will bring back a certain amount of feistiness, won't it?
Oh, sure. A lot of energy. He brings a great deal of energy in his shooting and his defensive tenacity, getting to those 50-50 balls. He seems to come up with all the time. So we're looking forward to having him back. He's been out for a while. So.
Do you think focus gets a little easier now as you get closer to the finish line?
Well, yeah, it makes it a lot easier. It's a marathon. You see the finish line, you tend to pick up your speed a little bit.
You talked about kind of building up to that process. I mean, beyond the results, how do you kind of tangibly measure if you guys are making steps toward that process or
mistakes?
You take the steps
mistakes, just by looking at the amount of mistakes that we make and corrections that we've made. If you don't want to make the same mistake, game after game after game. That's kind of how you measure it. You look at the film, you see areas that you've improved in, mistakes that you've minimized, and that's how you gauge it.
Kobe, everyone talks about how that approach ended, but it actually started pretty good. Which has more significance?
Neither. I mean, it kind of is what it is. I mean, you win some, you lose some. I don't think it really holds any weight. And it's really about what you do with the wins and what you do with the losses. And, you have to continue to improve either way. So at this point, it doesn't really matter.
It seems like you're embracing that elder statesman role in the league. Maybe not so much in your age, but longevity and the years that you put in and the stature of your game. Is that something that you're kind of welcoming at this point in your career?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I am. It's pretty cool. Westbrook had a post turnaround jump shot and came back to the bench, and it was clear where he got it from. And it's pretty cool for me because I got it from MJ. And that time has come and gone, and now they're watching and getting it from me. So it's pretty cool.
Hey, Kobe, is that the first time you kind of thought that, or is it the past couple of seasons? Because it was kind of weird to say that.
Well, now more than ever, because you got the younger guys coming up. Obviously, I've seen a great deal of generations of great players coming and going. And, you got LeBron and Wade and that crew, and then you got the younger crew with Rose and Westbrook and Durant and Blake and those guys. So, who really grew up watching me. I mean, they're probably like in 7th grade when I was doing dunks like I was doing yesterday. So, it's pretty cool for me to see that.
You mentioned a little while ago it was a lot of fun being with the fellas. How much were they trying to pick your brain?
Well, quite a bit. I mean, I enjoy helping them out. I enjoy giving them advice and encouragement and things like that. So.
How hard was it to get comfortable with that? Because obviously, if you're the elder statesman, that means,
I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to me. You can't beat me in June. It doesn't matter, all the other stuff. It doesn't matter.
When you're playing with those young guys yesterday, I mean, how did that remind you anyway? Just your first game with, when you were starting in '98 and you put up a pretty good performance and going against Michael and that kind of being seen as a torch bearer after that?
No, not really, not so much. It's different because we had so many. I mean, on that team, I was the only one. Me and KG were like, you know what I mean? We're like the only two in the class. But here, it's a great deal of them. I mean, there's a lot of them. It's just an influx of a newer, younger generation. So
Right.
it's a little different.
Looking forward to the Hawk game tomorrow night?
Yes. Yes, I am.
This basketball weekend was really wonderful, not only for you and the players, but for the city as well.
That was great for the city. I think the city did a marvelous job hosting it. The events were all successful. It was a safe weekend. I don't think there's any city in the States that can do a better job hosting an event like that than Los Angeles.